Irish spelling is notoriously difficult. Like these words, for example. How do you think they're pronounced? Seriously, pause the video if you want to try yourself. But would you have guessed Inyog, Gahar, Yesh, and Will? I certainly wouldn't have. So now you're probably wondering, why is Irish spelling so weird? Well, part of the answer is just time. Languages are constantly changing and evolving over time, but spelling can often be a relic of the past. Take, for example, this Irish word, which, believe it or not, is pronounced I. That spelling may seem nonsensical, but it actually made a lot more sense back in Old Irish, when the word used to be pronounced arav. This is the same reason that the spelling of a lot of English words also seems nonsensical. Like the word night, for example, used to be pronounced knicht. But surely, time can't be the only consideration. Like, are we supposed to believe that this word used to be pronounced befuil? No. To really understand Irish spelling, we have to talk about Latin. Latin has about 20 consonants, which is more than enough for Latin, but the Irish language has 33 consonant sounds. So how were the Irish supposed to write their language in the Latin script? They came up with a pretty clever solution. What if every single letter could make 2 different consonant sounds, depending on what types of vowels were next to it? Kind of like how the letter C can make the k sound before some vowels, but the s sound before others. So for example, the letter S can represent the s sound in front of some letters, but the sh sound in front of others. So essentially, you can get 2 different sounds per letter. This is why Irish has so many silent letters. Like this word, for example, is pronounced siu. You might look at that and think, 2 silent letters, what a weird spelling, but you're missing the point. Those vowels aren't meant to be pronounced. They're meant to indicate how the consonants are pronounced. If you were to respell the word without the U and the O, it would sound completely different. Shiv. Think of a word like kite. That has a silent letter, but if you removed it, it would become kit. Even a letter that isn't pronounced can impact the pronunciation of the word. So that explains the weird spelling in vowels, but what about the consonants? Well, that can be explained because of consonant mutation. Irish does this fascinating thing where the first consonant of a word can mutate depending on context. The word tiach, for example, can in some contexts become diach or hach. Now you might think, okay, if consonant mutation has to happen, why add extra letters in? Why not just respell the word? And yeah, you certainly could do that, that's what Welsh does, but the Irish strategy has a huge advantage. It makes mutation obvious. If I spelled the word wadra like this, is that word mutated? Is it not? What would its mutated forms look like? I don't know. But if I use the Irish spelling, I immediately know that this word is mutated. The original form is like this, and it's pronounced madra. Spelling isn't just about pronunciation, it's about conveying information to the reader. Sure, I could spell bostia and fostia like this, but if I use the Irish spelling, it becomes immediately obvious they're both mutations of postia. Irish spelling may not be intuitive at first, but it is consistent, way more regular than English anyway. Learn a few basic rules and you can pronounce pretty much any word in the language. In returning to our original question, I'll ask you this. Is Irish spelling even weird, or are you just not used to it?